Hey there, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to wherever you're watching this from. And this is just going to be a talk on commitment. All right. So, there are a lot of reasons as to why we people commit to certain things, certain objects, and even people. It's because we see some value in them, and it's because we see that, being with a certain person, committing to this certain thing, or working on this certain hobby or project or job can get us somewhere worthwhile, somewhere successful, and somewhere that will just overall give us this feeling of fulfillment. I guess that's few of the reasons as to why we commit to things so much. And yeah, I mean, they like they say, when you commit to something or when you put your all into something or when you just stick by it for a long, long time, even though, it may not be going as well as you hoped it would be, it may not be going as well as you expected it to be, and but you stick by it, so you still, do it every single day. You still talk to the person every single day. You still, you know, commit to these things and to these people, is because in a deep down, you know that it's gonna go somewhere. It's gonna happen. Uh, Despite thousands upon thousands of reasons for you to quit, you still continue to, be with it, do it and all that. And that's a form of commitment that I guess we all do have in the things that we deem important in life, the things that we deem worthwhile in life, the things that we know would lead us to a place that would only give us immense amount of joy, satisfaction, and fulfillment. So now let's flip the tables and talk about why it's so hard for us sometimes to commit to things. I know that all of us have experience on, and know what it means to really put your all into something, what it means to really, do stick by all these things, all these people, and all these jobs and things for a very, very long time, because we've all been through that. And I mean, whether it be jobs, whether it be schoolwork, whether it be courses, whether it be hobbies, you know, we stick by them because, well, as I've said again, time and time again in this video already, we see it as leading to something, and that something is like, maybe our dream, maybe a vision that we want to, you know, make a reality. Maybe it could, help us impact the world in a way if we keep doing it for a very, very long time, in a better way, in a good way. It can help us reach out to people, to give them hope, to give them help. Apart from that, I mean, it's overall just, because we love doing it at the same time. I guess that's why also there's a thousand reasons as to why we stick by something, is because we just love doing it or love being around that certain person. Yeah, let's go flip the tables and talk about why it's so hard for us sometimes to commit to things and to commit to people as well. It's because, number one, from my experience, well, I'm going to be strictly speaking from my experience because, like I said, I don't really know how people think. I don't really know how you guys think. What are your perspectives? What are your perceptions of commitment, or why is it so hard for you guys to commit to something as well? Because I mean, everybody has their own reasons and everybody has their own story, right? Uh, so yeah, I mean, I mean, I would really like to know how you guys feel about commitment and all that, because as well, because I want to know each and every one. Sorry, but in this case, for now, you get my side. So I mean, the reason as to why I feel like it's so hard for me to commit to certain things or give my all to certain things is, number one, I don't, man, I know it goes somewhere, definitely, because everything I do is part of a plan, uh, coincidentally and ironically, because I don't I'm not fond of planning things. I'm not fond of, planning ahead 5 years from now, 6 years from now, 10 years from now. I'm not fond of planning that long or that wide of a time frame. My plans usually range between a day, a week, or a month max. I'm not fond of planning long, you know, long durations of periods because my mindset changed, my likings, my mindsets, my perspectives, my perceptions of things, they change along the time, you know. And planning things ahead would, give me some sort of a layout, yeah, some sort of, a thing that I can look forward to in the future, not being, just drowned with uncertainties. But at the same time, the only thing that I fear when planning ahead and when trying to create stuff that would, be there for me in the future is that I won't really be into it, or I won't really, pursue it per se, you know. And so that's my issue with, planning 5, 10 years from now. But yeah, the reason is just, at the same time commitment, I won't be able to commit to it because I just don't see myself, doing things or pursuing things like, it can get me successful, but I guess it's just the feeling of fulfillment at the same time. I mean, I would be successful. I would, earn a decent amount of money that would help me, support myself financially, support my family financially, and that's all well and good. That's what we all want at the same time. At the end of the day as well, is that um, we'd be able to get a stable job where we're, secured with salary, we're secured with income in order to support our daily needs, and that's all we could ever ask for. But at the same time, once you grow older, once you know, get uh, you know, more experience in the field, or not that I'm saying that I'm highly experienced in the work field or in the outside world, so to say, is because I'm not. But I just have this feeling that 10, 20 years from now, if I'm still working a job that, I mean, not necessarily a 9 to 5 job, not necessarily an office job, because who knows, I might enjoy it. Like I said, my mindset might change. But let's say I'm just working a job, no particular job in specific, in specific, but let's say I'm working a job 5, 10 years from now, and 20, it could be even 20 years from now, and I'm still working the same job, and in the same, maybe a different company, but same industry, same work, same field of work, same procedures to follow, yada yada yada. But yeah, let's say I'm working a job like for that long, and you know, I, I'll probably, honestly, I'll tend to look back and say that, have these what ifs, have these scenarios where I would, I would, I would be, maybe a little bit regretful for the time that I've spent on this thing instead of actually, going for something that I thought or that I, planned to do, and uh, doing something that I deemed as something, important, or would be something that I'd be proud of by now. Not to say that, I'm not taking anything for granted, of course. In the job field, especially nowadays, it's really hard to get jobs. So whatever job that I may have in the future, or, when I'm working in the real world for real, I'll be grateful for that because, every opportunity is a blessing, honestly. No matter how small or big it may seem. But yeah, that's my issue only with committing to something, or with committing to people, is that, you know, it's just on my part because, I can't really see myself giving my, sorry, giving my all into it, because I know that I can put my mind to it, and I know that I'll be able to work as hard or put as much effort. But at the same time, it's just something different when you when you're doing something, when you're committing to something that you don't like, compared to when you're committing to something that you do like. It's just like this. It's it's all about, I guess, the factor of force. Because if you're committed to something that you don't like, you have to force yourself to get up every day, do the same thing again and again and again and again and again repeatedly, and it gets, tiring, and eventually you feel drained after doing it and all that. But it's just a cycle of constantly waking up, telling yourself, "Oh, I have to go to work. Oh, I have to do this. Oh, I have to do that. Oh, I have to do this project. Oh, I have to do this." So you have to constantly tell yourself again and again and again, constantly reminding yourself that you have to complete this. You have to do this by this date, this date, this date, this date. You know, it's like constant reminders, reminders, reminders. It's like you're basically your phone. You don't need your phone to, constantly tell you like this is on this day, this is, because your mind is just forcing you here, 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 here. But compared to something that you do like, it just goes out of habit. You might come up with an idea. Might, while just doing nothing. Maybe when you're doing your job, maybe when you're doing the thing that you have to commit to, but you don't really like. It can be even when you're outside, just taking a walk or something. Ideas might come, just might pop in your head, and you'll be like, oh, I can incorporate this into the hobby that I like. Oh, I can incorporate this into the project that I like doing. Oh, I can incorporate this into the course that I'm doing, or into the job that I'm doing. Because, you know, at the same time, when we think that we don't really think about, the hobbies that we like, the courses that we like, the jobs that we like. It's like they're in our heads, somewhere in there, they're just there, and it all becomes like a force of habit. You don't have to really tell yourself, okay, do this course, okay, go to uni, okay, force yourself to wake up every day. Because when you get up, you have that enthusiasm. You do things that you like, when you talk to people that you like, when it's just like a feeling of freedom. You're not really forcing yourself, or to do anything. It's just all in the flow, of it. And that's just my issue, with that. Is that especially when especially when you're committing and it fails. That's another thing. It's like when you fail at something you put so much effort to, you committed to for like a year, 2 years, 3 years, and it's something that you're not even interested in, or you don't really have you know the passion for, or the drive for, and you fail. It feels like all your efforts was for nothing, and you constantly beat yourself up over it. You constantly cuss at yourself. You constantly call yourself worthless. You constantly you know make yourself feel just completely miserable. And I'm not saying that it's for everyone. Again, it's just speaking from my experience and from how I feel when it comes to those topics. Is that, I would feel really bad, and I would feel really, annoyed, frustrated, and angry, because, I've wasted time then. If that means that I wasted so much time in this thing that I don't even like, and it's all gone. I can never get the time back. And but when I'm doing something that I do like, or that I am interested in, that thing that happens is that when I fail, of course it takes a hit on me, but not as big a hit as it would be compared to the thing that I don't like, committing to that. Because I would beat myself up over it for a little while, and I'll be like, okay, how can we make this better? How can we make this work? Okay, it's like a learning mentality. And that just makes me want to try again, try a different approach, try different, way of doing it, so that maybe it could be better. And the one that's another thing with committing to something that you don't like is that once you find the formula, you would stick to that formula for the rest of your life because you're secure with that. You know, you're you're not you're scared of basically trying out anything new because you know that it wouldn't work, and then again, the time that you've invested in it is useless if it fails. Whereas if you're doing something that you do like, you would try different things. You would you would be open to new suggestions. You would be open to changes in the way you work. You would be open into just putting your mind into implementing new ways, new strategies, so on and so forth. I mean, it's not just, with relationships, it's not just with jobs, it's not just with schoolwork, it's not just with hobbies or courses, it's with life as well. I mean, if you're living a life where you're basically you're basically afraid to commit to everyday daily things and everyday daily schedules, daily appointments, daily tasks and all that, you wouldn't be living honestly, or you're constantly forcing yourself because, and of course, some of us don't have a choice. I mean, we do have a choice in what job we take and all that, but at the same time, we feel like we don't really have a choice because of the environment around us and that influences our mindset. But at the same time, we do have a choice at the end of the day, but we just choose not to take it. But if you're in that position where, you're just influenced and you're stuck in a certain field, there is a possibility for you to learn how to love what you do. I'm not gonna say that, just because you're doing something that you don't like doesn't mean that you'll end up hating it for the rest of your life for as long as you're doing it. Eventually, you might find certain things that interest you, you might find certain aspects of the job or the course or the hobby that you're doing that interests you or that piques your enthusiasm, and it can get you going in a positive way. There's a way for you to learn, there's a way for you to improve, there's a way for you to, fully commit to it and have a positive mindset as well. So, yeah, I'm gonna end it on that note since, it's a positive one. But yeah, it's speaking from realism, but at the same time, of course, there's always a positive thing to every negative. And yeah, and if you're having trouble with it, just n- just know that if you see something that has potential to become something successful and something that will satisfy you, or you know give you that feeling of fulfillment, or you know see if you see it as something worthwhile, then it's probably best to commit to it, whether it be a relationship, whether it be a hobby, whether it be a job, a course, whatever, or an experience. But yeah, that's all for this talk, guys. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great day. Bye bye.